All right, everybody, welcome back. Another news feed for you. This one coming from Axios right here. Sudden depreciation in used car values hit CarMax hard. And it kind of tells us what's going on with the market and what's happening. This is a very recent article as of yesterday, September 25th. So something to think about here. Used car values depreciated rapidly this summer as competitors were aggressive on pricing. CarMax CEO Bill Nash warned on Thursday. Prices had spiked early in 2025 as Americans rushed to snap up vehicles ahead of anticipated tariffs. Sales have tapered off since then, promoting a scramble to attract customers. Thursday, with earnings reports showing that a 6.3 decline in comp sales of used cars. Investors had been expecting an increase of 0.07%, so they were expecting to go up 1%. Instead, they dropped 6.3%. They're not happy. CarMax shares plunged 20% on Thursday. Huge problem there. CarMax saw values slip by $1,000 per vehicle in 1 month period during the quarter, leaving the company with elevated prices that scare customers away. Matter of fact, I suffered from this myself when we just got rid of my dad's van. He had passed and we sold the van and split it up among his children. When we did that, CarMax was actually like $3,000 less than what Carvana was, where when we got rid of Bella's Buick, when they moved out of state, we got rid of that here. CarMax was like $2,800 more than Carvana. So you have to always check both of them when you're doing it because it's crazy how these things fluctuate and change. But CarMax, I thought was going to be a better option because it just was a few months ago. No, it was not a better option. And it probably has a lot to do with what's going on right here. Says the intrigue is prices have been on a rise earlier this year when customers are rushing to buy vehicles ahead of tariffs. The Manheim Used Vehicle Value Index, whatever we call it the MMI report, but hit 208.5 in May, marking the highest point since September 23 in the aftermath of inflated crisis that spiked costs. So it was really good then, but it's changing. Okay, Cox Automotive is still projecting an average increase in prices of new and used vehicles of 4 to 8% due to tariffs that are coming. I don't really know how tariffs will affect the used aspect right off the bat. That'll come later, with pressure, I'm assuming, but that's what they're saying and Cox is predicting. It says also the Consumer Price Index for August showed a 6% increase in year-over-year prices of used cars and trucks. So we really don't know what's happening here, but this kind of gives you an insight into CarMax and what's going on there and how the market is very volatile and nobody can predict it. Okay, so even though they're predicting here, like they just got done saying, Cox Automotive is still projecting an increase of 4 to 8%. Okay, they keep saying this stuff and they keep saying, the increase is showing that it's been 6% increase year over year. But here, we just got right here, they just got done saying that investors expected a 7% increase and they lost 6.3% as a decline. That's huge numbers. So we don't know what's really going on there, how it's going to work. We have to just wait and see. This one, the one we got on here, I found pretty interesting. GM and other automakers are urging the EPA to loosen vehicle emissions regulations. Why? Because EVs are dead. Okay, EVs are gone. Nobody cares about EVs anymore as far as the general public. They're over it. The Biden administration, it was pushing them down our throat. The $7,500 tax credit, all the stuff that made an EV worth people buying is gone. And now they're over it. They're done with it. Well, we still got these problems here that we got to deal with. Says routers, whatever way you want to say it. Don't correct me in the comments because I honestly just don't care. Okay, I know you guys circle like sharks in the water waiting for any kind of grammatical or word misspelling or anything or mispronunciation. So that you come up and bite you. Forget it. I don't care how it's pronounced. If they wanted it pronounced better, they should have wrote it better. But whatever it is. The report to the Alliance of Automotive Innovation, which represents most major automakers, including GM, is urging the EPA to roll back the Biden-era emissions limits and that group saying that aren't feasible. 2027 and later standards are simply not achievable in light of significant market charging infrastructure, supply chains, affordability, and other challenges as recent as policy changes enacted, the group said. So they can't meet it. They can't meet it, especially when nobody's buying the EVs. The standards, or the specific standard put in place by Biden's EPA in 2024 called for nearly 50% reduction in tailpipe emissions by 2032 compared to 2027 projected levels. This is in line with the EPA's forecast of 35 to 56% of new cars sold between 20 and 2032, or between 2030 and 2032 will be EVs. With the challenges cited by the Alliance related to market conditions, affordability, charging infrastructure, and the federal EV tax credit going away, these targets are no longer realistic. They can't hit them. It's not going to be an option. The Alliance also cited concerns of automakers losing a battery production on tax credit. This harms not only the auto manufacturers, but also spend hundreds of millions of dollars investing in electrical vehicle technology that nobody cares about anymore. But also, the entire supply chain that has supported these initiatives, the group said. Everybody, this whole EV, this big EV push that came in, and then it went out, this ride took so many people up with it, with high hopes, and all these people building all these new manufacturing facility and all these new EV plants. We got them going up all over around here to support Hyundai and, the new Hyundai plant, 40 minutes down the road. All this stuff coming in, battery places, everything that was going on to help this. And now it's all kind of just fading into the background. But not only the manufacturers lost a fortune in this, the suppliers have lost a fortune in this. I mean, it's not just one. You can't just say, oh, Ford's no longer doing EVs, so they're going to lose a bunch of money. Ford's not losing. I mean, there's companies that will go bankrupt, that will disappear, that are gone because of this, with hundreds and hundreds and thousands of jobs that are going to just disappear or get absorbed somewhere else because of this stuff happening with this EV going away. So it says still needs to be revisited or revised to feasible levels, providing certainty for the industry, such as a contingency plan, will be critical if a motor vehicle greenhouse gases standards are retained and reinstated in some way. So there is some issues here. They just don't know what's going to happen. But the Automotive Alliance for Automotive Innovation, they're basically just telling the EPA, knock it off. We can't do this. Look, you guys see, you're not dumb. You see what's happening. You see that Trump got rid of the tax credit. You see that people aren't buying them. You see that EVs aren't selling very good. You see the price reductions. You see the charging infrastructure alone. Okay, we're supposed to by 2030. That's, 4 years away. We're supposed to have charging structure for 50% of the population vehicles to be EVs. We can barely get, what are we at right now? What is it? Like 9% of vehicles on the road, 10%, 11, 12, 13, whatever. But we can't even charge the ones we got. There's backups there, people fighting at the charging things. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Not yet. Maybe down the road, but this push was too much. And the manufacturers are saying, stop it, knock it off, give us a break here. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.